Hi, everybody. Welcome to Dan on Sports. Well, it is time for Major League Baseball to revise how it handles interleague play. And I used to be a big fan of interleague play, and I was particularly supportive of the baseball commissioner when he announced a couple of years ago that each major league team would be playing every other major league team, both in the American League and National League. Beforehand, it used to be you would play teams from one division. American League East would play teams from the National League East one season, National League West the next, National League Central the season after that, and you'd always have your rivalry, Yankees, Mets, Cubs, White Sox, etc. But I'm getting sick and tired of it. And I'll tell you, one of the reasons I'm sick and tired of it is what took place the other day. That's why Major League Baseball needs to address this interleague play issue. First of all, the sport is diminishing the World Series, diminishing the meaning of the All-Star game. I mean, that was one of the things I looked forward to when I was growing up as a baseball fan. American League was going to be going up against the National League in the All-Star game. That doesn't mean anything now. There's really no meaning to the All-Star game. And you've got players who maybe show up for an inning and then they take them out because they're afraid the player might get hurt. The All-Star game, I can't even say it's nothing more than a glorified exhibition. It's not even that anymore. And the World Series, I think it's lost a little bit of its luster because these teams all play each other during the regular season. And it's gotten to be ridiculous. Now, I know we're not going to go back to the old way of no interleague play. I wish we could, but that's not going to happen. But, I mean, take a look at what happened last week. The Mets played the Cardinals in a doubleheader on Sunday. What was it, Sunday, May 4th? That's it. The Mets and Cardinals are done for the season. When I was growing up, and even when I was an adult, am I an adult now? I don't know. Some people might question that. But when I had matured, the Mets and Cardinals were still a big rivalry. The Mets and Cardinals from the days when I was growing up to now have always been a big rivalry. They're done. Kaput. They don't play each other for the rest of the season. May 4th, they were done. And the other problem is these teams have to scramble to make up the games if weather intervenes, which is what happened in the case of the Mets-Cardinals. They got rained out on a Saturday, so they played, are you ready for this, a separate admission doubleheader on a Sunday. That's how baseball has become so, I think, nearsighted. You can't even have a single admission doubleheader. You had to have a day-night doubleheader on a Sunday. Mets-Cardinals, and they're done for the rest of the season? That's ludicrous. I mean, this is what has happened. What is the result of this new policy of every team has to play every other team in order to be fair, which is a lot of nonsense. You're never going to be fair with an imbalanced schedule. It's not going to happen. You're never going to be fair when you have division play and an imbalanced schedule. That is impossible. But Tigers, who cares about the Tigers and the Rockies, really? The fans certainly didn't in Colorado, and I know the Rockies' attendance is down because the team stinks. It pains me to say that because as a broadcaster for the Hartford Yard Goats, I do the Double-A affiliate of the Rockies games, and they're great people. They really are. And those players, I believe some of them will turn it around. But the bottom line is, who cares Tigers, Rockies? Or let's carry it another step. Who cares Mets, Angels? It's always, and you know why they're doing it? I'm telling you why they're doing it. They're doing it because of the Yankees and the Dodgers. That's the real reason, because they want the Yankees to go into all these other cities, so that's what they're doing. Sorry for the camera bouncing around, but anyway, that's what they're doing this for, so that the Yankees can play these teams once a season. I don't care about the Yankees and Cubs, even though they're two legacy teams. Let them meet in the World Series or let them meet once every 3 years. It's got to change. You have the other thing this has done, it has diminished the rivalries. Like I said, Tigers could be playing the White Sox, or the Tigers could be playing the Guardians more. Those are big rivalries. Or the Tigers could be playing the Yankees more. Tigers-Yankees used to be a huge rivalry. Tigers-White Sox used to be is a rivalry, but Tigers-Yankees, White Sox-Yankees, they used to be big rivalries, and now they're being diminished. Why? Because the Yankees are playing the Rockies, or the Yankees are playing the pick the Pirates. I want to see the Yankees play the Pirates in the World Series or once every 3 years. Not every season. It makes no sense. And what's happening again, these rivalries are being diminished because of this ridiculous format. The Mets and Cardinals are done. They're finished for the year. I want to see the Yankees play the Twins more. Yankees-Twins used to be a big rivalry. They can't because of what's going on with this ridiculous schedule. Baseball, you play it day in and day out, has always been about rivalries. That's one of the big selling points. It's always been rivalries. Yankees and Red Sox, I believe, overplayed. I'm glad they reduced the number of games you play against a team in your division. Yankees, Red Sox, 18 times a year was too much. Yankees, Red Sox, 13 times a season, just right. But I want to see the Yankees play the Twins more. I want to see the Yankees play the Tigers more. I want to see the Yankees play the Angels more. And they can't. I want to see the Mets play the Cardinals more. They can't because of this ridiculous setup of you've got to play every other team in each league. That's ridiculous. Baseball needs to revise the schedule, reduce the number of games interleague. I think they need to reduce the number of games, period. Take it from a 162-game season down to a 140-game season. Have a limited amount. I mean a limited amount of interleague games, not the number that you have now, and expand the playoffs. That's how you'll get your interleague rivalries. Expand the playoffs leading to the World Series. You might even want to set up a seeding system so it's not American League against National League. But please end this ridiculous format where each team has to play every other team in each league, each season. You've diminished rivalries, one of the big selling points of baseball. You have created this schedule situation where teams are being forced to play in monsoons because that's the only time the team is going to come into town. And you're ending these rivalries in May. May 7th or May 4th, Mets and Cardinals, done. That's wrong. Baseball needs to wake up and go back to the way it used to be. Now, I will concede there has to be some interleague play, but not what you're doing now. You've so diluted the product. Bring back rivalries. And you do it by reducing the number of interleague games. That's going to do it for Dan on Sports. Thanks for listening. Be sure to subscribe to my newsletter. And as always, thanks for following the podcast and the channel. It's most appreciated.